Hello, in the previous videos we saw how to use the roots. So this time let's see the nested roots. For example, in some pages we might have some children frames or sub pages where we need the nested roots, right? So within a page, how we can navigate between those subframes or child roots. So let's try to practice on nested root. So I already created an empty page and I start my application. There is nothing on the page right now. So let's start adding some components. So obviously let's add a router here. All right, and then inside we can add some roots, and inside the roots let's add our first root, which will be going to path would be, for example, if we are already on the landing page, then we can have a landing page, right? Landing page component, but it's not recognized, so let's, because we don't have it, let's add a landing page component here. What we can return here is, let's return a title which shows we are on the landing page. And let's add a nested page to our web application. This is our purpose, right? So let's add a link which will go to, for example, let's say it should go to nested page. Okay, and I need a label for that. Let's add this. Okay. What's happening here? So there is a problem here, which is, oh, link to, how about now? Okay, so I'm on the landing page now because I can already see that if I'm on the main page, then I have the landing page which returns a title and a link. But whenever I click, I'm still on the landing page, right? Because all the extensions from this goes to the landing page. But what I want to do now is, if it goes to a path which is something like this, nested page, P is capital, right? Nested page. Then I want this to go to another uh, module or component, or maybe a new page, which would be the nested page, right? Okay. And then I need a nested page component here. Let's just duplicate this. Let's see our application. Landing page. When I click, it goes to nested page. Very cool. So here I need some subroots. So let's try to add that. So to add some subroutes, first of all, let's add the link so that I can click and then go to those routes, right? So let me copy this link. So let's add two links. For example, this would be, by the way, for example, if I already want to show one of those subframes, then it would be like a kind of default frame. So even if I do not click implicitly, it will be still on the page, nested page, whenever I land to the nested page. So let's say this is the first child, and I want this to be the default one. And let's have child 2. So this both would go to some links, right? So for example, this can go to child 2, and this can go to child 1. Okay, I have these links, but whenever I click, there is nothing happening yet because I did not add the roots and the relevant components. So let's add those roots and then add the relevant components where we want them to go. So first let's add the roots. Remember, this is already a nested root, right? Because I'm not on the landing page here. I already had some roots, but now I'm in a page of my application, and inside within that page, I will add some roots. So this will be just roots within that page, which will be a nested page, a nested root. So again, let's copy those roots, for example. Let's just copy these, and what was it? It was child 1 and child 2, right? So now we need child 1 and child 2 components. Whenever I click, it went to child 1, but in child 1, there is no component yet. So let's add that. And let's add the other one. Maybe better to capitalize this. This to child 2. Okay, let's start from the beginning. I'm on the landing page. I go to a nested page. I go to child 1, which returns a child 1 title. I go to child 2, which returns a child 2 title. This doesn't have to be necessarily capital because it's just a text, it's title. So yeah, I'm able to navigate between these two subroutes, right, within the page, within the same page. I'm still on the nested page. So how could I do that is, since I have all the extensions is, for example, if I remove this star, let's go to our application again. Let's start from landing page. I'm on landing page. Whenever I go to nested page, I'm on the nested page. But when I go to the child one, I fell back to the landing page, right? Because all the extensions after nested page are not included under the nested page. But if I do that, I will stay on the landing page. I will stay on the nested page. Nested page is here, but still I could navigate between those subframes. Very cool. This is the important part, to include all the subroutes. And then another important point is these links are a little bit different than the traditional href anchor elements, which is going to the relative path, right? Whenever I click this, it does not go to, for example, I'm already local host, but let me show it here. For example, when I click child one, it does not go to local host slash child one, but since I'm already on the nested page, it is just going to the relevant path. So this is the difference for the link. And I was trying to show the default frame on the nested roots, right? For example, if I was on the nested page, I don't see any of this child one or child two, right? But if I want to already show one of them on the page, for example, let's set child two as default, then all I have to do is just remove this. So if I'm already on the nested page, child two will be there. So whenever I click child two, it will be there. Yes, I don't have to change anything else. So you see I'm on the nested page and child 2 is already there. If I go to child 1, then I see child 1, but if I go to child 2, yeah, the link should be corrected. So this should go to main page again. Child 1 is here, child 2 is here. Because child 2 is just on the nested page, nothing else. Cool. Let's summarize. Adding all extensions for all the children roots are very important to be included by a star. And then we saw using link instead of anchor elements. And then what else? We saw setting one of the child roots, nested roots, as default by just setting the root as nothing but just the parent page, right? This was, I guess, all about the nested roots. Let's one more time do our navigation through our application. I go to nested page. I already see my child too, which is a nested root within the nested page, but I can already switch between all the nested roots within my page.